All right, let's set the stage, everyone. Sex itself is a multi-dimensional, comprehensive topic. In the last video, I spoke about the tragedy of porn addiction and how it affects the mental health of its victims. And so our inclinations towards pursuing sex are much more than biological and behavioral tendencies. You know, sex itself, it's actually a very powerful component of the human experience, and we treasure it in a different way than, you know, all the other living creatures out there. And so with that in mind, we have to understand that the force behind sex is something we must do our best to manage correctly, because a lot of times if we don't, we can make some mistakes, which could totally affect the trajectory of our life, you know. And so unfortunately, our school systems only teach the biological bare minimum about sex and prefer to keep the discussions always kind of under this pretense of taboo. And so to live, you know, a meaningful, productive life, you're going to be undoubtedly faced with urges and opportunities to engage in sex, which is totally healthy and certainly healthy and should be pursued in the right context, absolutely. But the improper regulation and execution of your sexual energy can totally dismantle your momentum and lead you astray from your purpose. And if you haven't visited my channel before, my name's Ethan Etchart. I'm a personal trainer. This video is not supposed to come off like I'm some type of sex guru, and nor am I trying to shame us for having sexual interests. In fact, I highly encourage having, you know, a great understanding and healthy approach to your sex life, for sure. And so in this video though, we're going to look at how we can arm ourselves, equip ourselves with our sexual energy and channel that into a functional force that drives success in our lives, rather than just wasting that aimlessly through, I mean, let's just say it, right? Excessive fantasies, porn consumption, masturbation, low quality casual sex, all those type of things. So, and as a personal trainer who specializes in coaching those with addictive behaviors, I find it super necessary to discuss how redirecting your sexual impulses into a productive force that also respects your sexual nature is necessary and absolutely effective for leading a healthy life. And that's why we're talking about this today. All right, so now let's dive in. Sexual energy is part of us that we cannot ignore. So let's start with the understanding that our sexual essence is a part of us that we possess at all times, even when we are not in the heat of the moment, in the bedroom. All of us possess a sexual force that, you know, it connects to the way we speak, the way we move, the way we interact with others, the way we think. And behaviorally, we could classify this as a crucial component of your charisma, right? And your charisma is a dynamic factor to grow and cultivate in your life as you seek to gain success in your career and, of course, finding the right partner, right? So if that's what you truly want, which probably is what you want. To touch on charisma even further, in my article about porn addiction, I talked about how the excessive waste of our sexual energy through masturbation can be so debilitating. And scientifically, that is explained by the manifestation of lower dopamine levels, because you're developing lower dopamine levels by continually having a crazy orgasmic response over and over again. And so this can manifest depression and addictive behaviors. And another thing it also manifests is less expression of androgen receptors. Basically meaning, for guys, that means that testosterone is not going to be able to act upon your muscles, your facial features, your masculine traits the way it should be. That's what androgen expression is. And so you can tell with this, this is what happens with guys that they're masturbating too much. You can see they're becoming less and less masculine because they're having less androgen expression. So this, you can see this throughout the whole entire body. Of course, charisma, it's a subjective characteristic to judge, and it's not totally understood neurochemically, right, and psychologically, because it's just kind of one of those things we subjectively look at. But you can logically draw parallels with one's charisma and associate it with their dopamine levels and androgen expression / estrogen expression for women. And so when people have healthy levels of dopamine and a proper expression of their sexual traits, they are able to pursue their goals, you know, attract influence and embody the self-compassion and kind of love and aura around them to a degree that indicates a desirable level of charisma. So there's this super famous self-help book that's titled Think and Grow Rich. It's by Napoleon Hill. And in that book, he draws a call to action to the adoption of sexual transmutation. And in this paragraph below, I'll just read it exactly, verbatim from the book. He says, when driven by the desire, men will develop a keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. So strong and impelling is the desire for sexual contact that men freely will run the risk of life and reputation to indulge in it. When harnessed and redirected along other lines, this motivating force maintains all of its attributes of keenness of imagination, courage, etc., which may be used as powerful creative forces in literature, art, or any other profession or calling, including, of course, the accumulation of riches. And then another important point that Hill makes in this book about sexual transmutation is that essentially what makes people great in business, great in sales, anything like that, is their personal magnetism, which can be associated with one's sexual charisma or energy, right? And so it's quite obvious when you look at business through the lens of sexual energy. And so I don't mean to call out this point to offend anyone or to take away success from anyone that's using this properly. But you hear this phrase all the time in business, right? Sex sells. It's a marketing phrase. And you cannot deny it. We want to see the hot girls in the commercials displaying the latest fashion trends and makeup trends. We want to see the most handsome guy that's super muscular, working out, driving a sports car, wearing Nike gear, driving a BMW. It's just like, that's how it just works. I mean, look at your Instagram feed today and guess what you're going to see. Look at YouTube too. Those who are receiving a lot of the engagement, the most engagement, they're likely emitting their sexual energy highly effectively. And that doesn't mean it's the main thing they operate under. You can have a lot of content, a lot of substance in what you're talking about, but if you're displaying it in a way that suits your sexual energy effectively, it's going to be even more attractive and digestible for the learner. And yeah, we can sit here all day and talk about how that's not fair and why do those people deserve more attention, X, Y, and Z, and maybe I'll agree with many of the points behind what you're saying. And we've had certain movements out there in social media that have been obviously along these lines and kind of annoying in many regards, but this is our reality. We have to develop and broadcast our sexual energy in a way that serves us healthily, but also provides impact to our deepest missions. And the good news is that you can build your charisma and you can manifest positive changes and more success by the means of sexual transmutation, okay? And so now let's talk about how we can boost our charisma by doing sexual transmutation and utilize our energy in the most holistic and effective approach possible. So step number 1, how to transmute your sexual energy. High intensity exercises. There we go. Let's talk about exercise. Personal trainers ready to go. Okay, so we're talking heavy weightlifting, we're talking swimming laps super fast, martial arts, of course. All of these vigorous exercises, they study them and they always elicit the best adaptations for everything, right? Not just physical health, but mental health as well. It's the most suitable way to unleash your body's energy because you can express your force, right? And your intention in a physical way, in a neuromuscular fashion. And so not only is the execution of vigorous exercise liberating, it's super liberating, your body also responds with these great adaptations I was saying earlier, such as you're gonna build muscle, you're gonna look more attractive, you're gonna increase your own dopamine levels naturally. And along with that comes a subjective increase in your sense of well-being and your self-compassion, which is very sexy, which is very, very attractive. It makes you personally magnetic. So if you are feeling frustrated or extremely impulsive sexually, the best outlet is working out extremely hard and reaping the benefits from your hard work. And this carries over into your mental work as well. All right, number 2, meditation, intention, and journal prompt is what we're gonna talk about now. So rather than just telling you to meditate and rather than just telling you to journal, I want to give you a meditation prompt or intention and a journaling prompt. Okay, so this is gonna help you develop your approach to transmitting your sexual energy in a manner that's going to be very consistent and long-term. So starting with an intention in the meditation that you are striving to become your highest self is important. And so first what you'll do is you'll strive with that intention to become your highest self. Then you're going to perform the Wim Hof meditation exercise, which consists of 3 rounds of 30 deep breaths in and out, 30 deep breaths in and out, and then you do a 60 to 120 second breath hold. After that breath hold, you do 1 super deep breath, then you do a 15-second breath hold, and then you let go and you restart 3 rounds. You can check out his videos on YouTube. Wim Hof meditation, super powerful breath work, is insanely invigorating. You feel fantastic afterwards, and it gives you the mental clarity and energy you need to push forward in your life. And so during this meditation, what you got to do is you have to feel how your body feels neurochemically. And what that means basically is paying attention to your urges, your desires, and your discomfort. And so what you are feeling is literally chemicals in your body that we call hormones and neurotransmitters. That's what you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, and especially in meditation. And these 2 substrates, the hormones and neurotransmitters, essentially guide your behavior every day of your life. After the breath holds, focus on discarding every single thought that you have that pops in your head for the next 15 minutes after the breath work. During those 15 minutes, you're likely going to have a lot of sexual thoughts, and among the other extensive library of your random thoughts, but there will be a lot of sexual thoughts, I'm guessing, especially if you're a young male. And so this practice of discarding these intrusive sexual thoughts will teach you to channel that energy from a distractive mental process into a constructive process that you can use productively in the rest of your life. All right, then after the meditation, you're going to be journaling. And so you're going to provide responses to the following journaling prompts. Here's the first one. How often does my libido and my sexual urges affect the way I spend my time? Okay, so under that you could think, am I spending a lot of time at knife surfing Tinder, DMing random girls on the internet, watching porn obviously is bad, all those type of things. Okay, that's the first question. Second question, second prompt. How does spending this time affect my life in a positive sense and a negative sense? Okay, so then you could be thinking, am I actually hooking up with the right person, the right girls? Am I masturbating a lot? Am I being distracted too much mentally by this sexual energy I can't handle? Okay. All right, question number 3, prompt number 3. What would it take for me to achieve my dreams and have a fantastic sex life, right? Because we want to have that balance. And so you might be thinking within this prompt, am I able to find balance between intimacy and professional success? What are my boundaries within that? How will increasing my charisma and my sexual transmutation, how will this affect my career and my relationships down the road? Okay, so those are the 3 journaling prompts. And so now here's the final trick to use your sexual energy to your advantage, aka sexual transmutation. Complement and complement. Okay, so I love wordplay, and in the circumstance of sexual transmutation, complimenting and complementing are a surefire way to bolster your charisma. Okay, so let's talk about that. Obviously, complimenting is like you're giving someone a compliment, like, hey, you look beautiful today, X, Y, and Z, I love your shirt, it looks fantastic, you look super handsome and muscular. Okay, genuine compliments, these are going to signal an arousing response in the people that you're working with in business, obviously your girlfriend or your boyfriend, that type of thing as well, because it's flattery, right? It's very attractive. But the way in which you seek to compliment another person, not compliment, meaning like 2 parts make a whole, complete, can provide such a harmonious relationship that will bring satisfying results to both parties. We could say this is true for intimate relationships, of course, and especially in the case of business partnerships. And so in the super famous book titled The 7 Highly Effective Habits by Stephen Covey, this is described in the implementation of the habits 4, 5, and 6, which number 4 is think win-win, 5 is seek first to understand, then to be understood, and then number 6 is synergize. So in the case of think win-win, right, we're complimenting the other person. Approaching any relationship or business matter you must be looking to not only satisfy yourself, but the other party as well, thinking win-win. How do we complement each other? This is exactly what you want in a relationship, business, and especially a healthy sexual relationship as well. And seeking to complement someone it's viewed as a charismatic touch to your approach to their partnership. And so when seeking to understand another person first before seeking to be understood, you're taking that even a step further as well. You are catering toward the other party's intentions first, which is super highly attractive. And lastly, synergizing. Essentially, synergizing is finally like reaping the benefits of the complementary partnership. It's the proliferation of shared success between multiple parties due to the understanding that working together, it's not only cultivating deeper levels of pleasure, but it's also cultivating deeper levels of success, just how, a healthy sexual relationship should be. And this is why complimenting is just as important as complimenting someone. Okay, because remember, it's not just like when it comes to business, when it comes to relationships, it's not just one plus one equals two. It's 1 + 1 can equal infinity. The opportunities are endless when you can work together with people and synergize. And so that concludes the tips that I have for sexual transmutation. But just remember that equipping your sexual energy to guide you in your life outside of the bedroom is more or less one of the most important tools under your belt to reward you with a meaningful and productive, happy, beautiful life. Okay, so thank you for checking out this video. My name again is Ethan Etchart. Check out my website, ethanetchartfitness.com. I have a blog every single week. Subscribe to me on Instagram. Subscribe to my at Ethan Etchart. Subscribe to my articles on my website. It's at ethanetchartfitness.com. And also, you will receive not just the blogs, but also details about upcoming training programs. And then lastly, I want to talk about a Facebook group that I have called Electrify Your Life. And so what we do in this Facebook group is we talk about all things that have to do with optimizing your health and wellness. And so we could be talking about fitness routines, or we could be talking all the way into like meditation. All right, and so a big thing lately has been holotropic breathing, breath work, and cold showers. That's been a big topic of recent. Okay, so go ahead and check that out, join, and again, obviously like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. We got videos coming out every single week. If you're looking to train one-on-one with me, sign up for a consultation on my website, and let's get it started. Thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you guys next time.